Hi everyone, we're going to go through a few questions with directed numbers and looking at multiplication and division in this video. So let's jump to it. So when we've got something like -2 multiplied by, let's say, 2 or 3, might be better. -2 multiplied by 3, so we've got -2 here. And we're multiplying by 3 means we're going to have 3 lots of -2's. So if we have 3 lots of -2's, then what we're going to have, can you think about that? If we have 3 lots of -2's, we're going to have, let's see, can this work? Hurry up. That's -2. That's another -2 and another -2 here. All together, what do we have? We've got -6, right? So -2 times 3 is equal to -6. It just means we're going to have 3 lots of -2's. And if we wrote that the other way around, 2 times -3, remember, multiplication has certain laws, right? So it doesn't matter which way we write down the numbers here, it's still going to mean 2 times 3 can mean 2 lots of -3's, right? 2 times -3 means 2 lots of -3's. And so 2 lots of -3's we can visualize. 2 lots of 3's is 6. 2 lots of -3's is going to be -6. And so 2 times -3 or -3 times 2 still gives us -6 here. So that's something that we need to kind of think about for our future questions as well. Okay, so let's have a look at another set of questions here. Let me just get rid of these. So let's look at negative times a negative. So we've got -5 times -4, for example, and negative times a negative. This is the same as 5 times 4 and finding the negative of the negative, right? So 5 times 4 we know is 20, and we've talked about this before, right? Negative of the negative. So 20 is a positive number, so positive number, finding the negative of the positive number is going to be -20, and finding the negative again, negative of the negative is positive, and so overall we get 20 here. -20, right, is going to be 20, because these two cancel each other out. Okay, that's why we get 20. So when we have a negative multiplied by a negative, that's why it's all as a positive, because we're finding the negative of another negative, and therefore it's going to be a positive. So that's negative times negative. What about division? How can we look at division? How can we visualize division? Let's say -20 divided by 4. That's going to be simple, right? Because we know 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. And so we're saying that this is the negative of 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the negative of 20 divided by 4, which is 5, is going to be -5. And so -20 divided by 4 is -5. Similarly, if it was 20 divided by -4, we're saying here that we're trying to find the negative of 20 divided by 4, because you've got the negative here. And so we know 20 divided by 4 is 5, and so this is going to be -5. That's how we can think of division with these two types of questions. What about if it's dividing a negative by a negative? So similarly, if we think about the fact that flipping a negative, or not flipping, what's the word I can use? It could be the negative of a negative is going to be a positive, or a negative of a positive is going to be a negative. So if we have that in our mind, we've got -20 divided by -4. What we're just saying here again is just that we're going to find the negative of the negative of 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4, we're quite clear about. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So finding the negative of the negative of 5 is just going to be 5 is a positive. Finding the negative of the positive is going to be -5. And then finding the negative of -5 is going to be +5. So we get that. Have a look at some negative and positive addition, subtraction, multiplication, division question, directed number questions, and see if you can now solve those questions using these videos.